Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Midweek War! We are here to talk NXT, and I'm Mad Mike. You know who I am. You know we have special guests tonight. But with me, you know what? Based on the visual, I'm cutting to him right now. Our special guest, Lucha Underground co-executive producer, Chris Dejoseph. How are you, sir?
I'm good. I'm here with Merman, and we are going to talk a little bit about NXT. You guys familiar with Merman?
What does Merman think about Shinsuke Nakamura?
He's Skeletor's Ocean Warrior, and he says, "I think that match was awesome."
That may be the greatest intro we've ever had to this podcast.
It probably is. I would say yes, absolutely.
That was a gift from Chris Roach. I'm a Merman, Mark.
Excellent. With us, as always, is the voice of Inspire Pro Wrestling, Eamon Paton. How are you, sir?
Hello.
Which He-Man character did you bring to the show, Eamon?
Oh, God. Don't do this to me.
Eamon, do you know who He-Man is?
I know who He-Man is.
Are you sure?
Skeletor's in He-Man, right?
Sure. Okay, Eamon is now Skeletor.
I'm sorry. I only am nerd out on one thing. It's wrestling, and it's so sad.
I hate He-Man. All right.
That's a good Skeletor. That's a really good Skeletor.
Thank you. I've been practicing since I was about 6. With us, as always, is our voice in the mainstream media, Matt Carlins.
Hello. I'm exhausted. We talked to Vampiro, we talked about Matt Hardy, and I'm spent. And now we have to talk about this damn show. All right, let's do it!
Matt, which He-Man character are you?
I've always kind of partial to G.I. Joe whenever I was a kid. So
Matt, you done fucked
it up. You guys want to talk about G.I. Joe or Transformers? I can do that with you guys.
Matt, just for that, I'm calling you goddamn Orko, alright?
Fuck you!
Alright, no. Matt at Arms.
Oh.
Huh?
Yeah, that's
I'll
good.
change my lower third.
That's good.
Alright, so we're going to do this as we always do. Chris, what is your word for NXT this week?
Entrances.
Yeah.
All right. Eamon, how about you? Your word for NXT this week?
I'm going to cheat and use 2 words, because whatever. My 2 words is strong style.
All right. Matt, how about you?
I will say farewell.
Okay. All right. My word is going to be a hyphenated one. Double stump. Double stump. All right. So, Chris, what was your good about NXT this week?
Fucking entrances. I love the shit out of those. I hadn't seen those guys make their entrances on NXT before, and I thought those were fucking awesome. The match is great too, but I really love that. I inherited all those bad words from Vampiro early on in the night, and now here I go. Those guys are great, man. Really cool. 2 superstars, and I enjoyed the shit out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Eamon, how about you? What was your good for this week?
Because I think a lot of us are going to say the match, different parts of the match, assuming. I like the style of match, because I thought it was a style of match that we didn't get a chance to really see a lot of in WWE. That's definitely a match that you could have plucked from New Japan, and it would have fit perfectly. I think Balor and Nakamura both, mainly Balor, but also to a degree Nakamura, have done a really good job of making sure that their styles work in a WWE environment, and they've not hold back, but they've been able to sort of scale back on certain things. And in this match, I feel like they really went all out, and I think translated into why these 2 guys have the reputation they have, which is what they can do, how far they can go, and that's, I think, what they showed.
All right. Matt, how about you? What was your good this week?
My good, angry Samoa Joe on the microphone.
Samoa Joe's pretty great right now.
He's so freaking great. All these guys from TNA that we were told that were not good promos come to WWE and turn out to be amazing promos. So it was pretty awesome. I love Joe. I love him as champion. He just exudes like no one's ever gonna beat me. It's so fantastic.
Yeah, Angry Samoa Joe is the best Samoa Joe, and it's also the only Samoa Joe. Like he's just always angry.
Yeah.
My good this week, just the sounds of that match, because fuck, there were some hard ass shots. Like it was really really great. The fact that we, for the first time, got to see someone kick out of the Kinshasa.
Yeah, I was very surprised by that.
Mm-hmm. But if you notice, Shinsuke didn't kick out of the coup de grace.
No, he didn't. Yeah.
So and that's one thing we've always said. NXT has been very good at protecting finishing moves. They're very good at that. Have we ever seen two kickouts of each other's finishing moves in a match? I don't think we have.
I really don't think so. I can't think of a time where we really... Maybe the closest is like a Bailey match when she'll do the regular Bailey to belly and do like the top rope Bailey to belly. But other than that, like, I can't really think of one. Like, nothing comes to mind.
Yeah. All right, but not every show is perfect. We all know this. Chris, what was your bad this week for NXT?
Rhino.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I was so into the Joe promo, and then Rhino talked, and I was kind of, it was cool. It was cool, but yeah, I guess that has to be my bad because I didn't really, nothing else to me really stood out as bad, so I guess that would be my bad. It was Rhino. I guess I'm excited to see Rhino versus Joe. I guess, but I'm more excited to see Ultima Luchador's 2-hour finale.
I think we can all agree with that sentiment.
I think that's fair.
All right, Eamon. I mean, it's a one-match show, so it's difficult. What will be your bad this week?
I feel bad. I was also going to say Rhino. No, I like Rhino. I just feel because I believe we've seen Joe and Rhino before Joe got the belt.
I don't know if we have. Not in NXT.
I want to say we have because I remember a match where like Joe, I remember Joe giving him the muscle buster in like the singles match. I'd have to look it up. I don't know. I just feel like Rhino like leaving for a little while, coming back. He attacked the Hype Bros and Blake and Murphy last week, and then he's just like going after Joe. I don't know. I just want more of a story with Rhino, other than I'm just gonna go after the Joe, and I don't feel like he's really a threat to Joe. Like I feel like
I think Joe made that abundantly clear too.
Well, yeah. I just think that the story's very clear how they're gonna go with it, and it feels like Rhino's almost kind of filler.
Well, we do have a little bit before. We have a little over a month before Takeover, so.
Sure.
Yeah. Matt, how about you? What was your bad this week?
I gotta give my bad to the Full Sail crowd.
Damn it!
I think they dragged down the match for me, and I did like the match, but I felt like it could have been even better, and I think the crowd kind of dragged it down for me. And I usually defend that Full Sail crowd. Like I try to be nice to them. I've been in that Full Sail crowd before, and it was a very fun experience. But something was out of tune this week. They were just not. They just weren't. It didn't feel like a match of that scope, of that epic nature, was worthy of a larger stage than that one. I don't think the Full Sail environment is suitable anymore for a Titanic clash like that. Those things should be saved for a major arena, a major takeover, because in that environment, I just feel like they dragged it down. They're doing their little chants, and usually, sometimes it's okay, and sometimes it's okay. Sometimes it helps, get some of the guys and girls over. But in this situation, I feel like they were just. It felt like, and I don't want to make it sound like I felt this way, like I'm describing the match this way. But as far as the behavior of the fans, it felt like paint by numbers. response to everything that was happening. Okay, this is where we chant this. This is where we chant, both these guys. This is where we chant fight forever. This is where we chant. This is awesome. Just like enough,
I guess. I mean,
try to reach something organic in a reaction.
Or go ahead, Chris.
I was just going to say, I completely agree with you. There was something off with that crowd. I couldn't put my finger on it, but that match just didn't feel as big as it should have, and maybe that was part of because of it. I couldn't really put my finger on why I felt that way, but maybe that is the reason why.
I'm wondering if maybe, because, I mean, NXT tapes multiple episodes at once. Either maybe this was the end of a really long taping.
It happens.
Or like... Yeah, or like the beginning of a taping, and they're not expecting it, or they're not warmed up. Because, like,
I think it was
Joe promo aside, the Joe promo was great, but it didn't hype the crowd.
I think, I don't know, I didn't think the crowd had, like, a lack of energy. Like, my thing was, I think it may have been, I don't even think it was Full Sail in general. I think it may have played a factor that it was taped. Because I think there's something different of watching a match like that in a taped environment as opposed to like a takeover that's live. Like, I think there's an element of the live factor that really aids in those big like clashes because you don't know how they're going to react. I thought the crowd was great for like Sami Zayn and Nakamura because you could feel their emotions kind of riding. You know what I mean?
Do you think the fact that Finn wasn't the demon hurt it? Because, I mean...
I don't think so.
I don't know. I think it took something away.
I think every time, because from what I remember, every time he's been the demon, it's been against somebody who has it's about a beef.
Not necessarily.
Maybe except for like the first match with Joe, but no, the first match with Joe still had like a beef.
Yeah, but I mean,
This match was very, very much built on we have a friendship. So I don't understand, you know what I mean? I can understand him not pulling out the demon for that. But I don't think the demon had a factor. I do think the whole aspect of it being taped kind of.
All right. My bad this week is going to go for the announcement of Bayley versus Nia Jax. Not because we're getting that match, but because there's no stipulation attached to it. I feel like there's enough of a conflict there, like Nia was the one who hurt Bayley before. I feel like there should be some kind of elevated stakes. Like, because we don't get that often with a women's match that's not for a championship. And I feel like NXT could use something like that. And I feel like Bayley versus Nia Jax would do it. Because Bayley versus Asuka, you don't really need a stipulation for that one. Bayley versus Nia Jax, I think you could have done something like a steel cage match or like a last woman standing match or something like that. Like, just something to make it feel a little bit better because it just kind of seems like paint by numbers Bayley's road to redemption. Again.
Yeah, just because we already have that story since you won the belt. So I can see your point on that, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, I mean, I know it's going to be difficult with this one-match show, basically, but Chris, do you have a change that you do for NXT?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
My change would be to put Balor and Nakamura on the main fucking roster and let those guys be up there. That's my change.
I think it's done. I think it's done.
Yeah. While I agree with you, can we wait until after I get to see Nakamura versus Joe at TakeOver Live?
I think they're going to have that anyway, but man, if those guys aren't in the draft in the next couple of days, I don't know what to think. Or whenever that draft is. Next Tuesday?
Yeah, I think Balor...
Are they even eligible for it?
I think Balor's going to be part of it. Like, they've never mentioned anything about NXT, guys.
Yeah.
But I think Balor's going to be part of it.
About the draft.
Yeah, I think Balor's going to be part of it. I don't think Nakamura is. I think he's still a little too new to the NXT cred. I mean, no doubt he's ready for it, but I think they still need him in NXT.
Those guys are stars. I mean, big stars, I think.
Oh,
but I'm probably not in Vince's eyes, but we'll see.
I think once the first time Finn Balor steps on that main stage, I'll be like, oh, okay, yeah.
If everybody does this thing, whatever with the arms, and
yep.
there's no doubt about it. He'll be over.
if people will sing Enzo's first, his whole shtick the first time he came out, you can guarantee everyone's gonna be buying Balor Club arm streamers.
For sure.
All right, so Eamon, how about you? What changed for you?
God, what would be my change for this week? I would have showed because Triple H spoiled it when they filmed the match. There was definitely more to the ending of the match, like after Nakamura won, than was shown. Like they kind of do a thing where they're buddy and they do like the Nakamura pose at the same time. I would have loved if they just showed all of that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like I like what they left on, but like still like.
Yeah. Matt, how about you?
I just would have liked to have seen them try to find some way to just shoehorn one more little thing into this show, mostly so that we could have one more thing to talk about when we do our review of it. But just something, even just like a 30-second backstage interview. Give me 30 seconds with No Way Jose or something like that. Silly. I don't care. Just something, just like kind of, just a little bit of variety. Give me one more thing to take away from it.
Or like Austin Aries talking about like Nakamura versus Balor and how it doesn't mean anything because he's Austin Aries.
Well, yeah, I mean maybe, but I just basically the point is like to have something separate from the Balor Nakamura match that didn't kind of play right into it. I mean, they did more than enough hype during the show. Didn't they run like 2 hype packages for the?
Yeah, pretty much.
Show? I mean, I'm here. I'm watching. You got me.
I know his family. He knows my family.
And we had dinner.
I don't know. I like the hype pack. I like the hype package right before the match.
Speaking of I'm here, you got me. Did it bother you guys that they go to commercial during that main event of that magnitude?
Sometimes I do think it's kind of
twice. I was just like, come on, that was the one thing. It's on your network. I mean, like, come on.
Well,
if I'm tuning into this, I'm gonna probably watch your pay-per-view.
Do they still run NXT on like Hulu or like is there a foreign market that they run NXT?
I don't think so.
Yeah, because that's the only thing I originally thought. Because I know Main Event still runs on foreign outlets.
But even then, like it's just like their commercial breaks are just like one commercial.
Yeah, like, and it's not like it's for like Valvoline or something.
So even if you were to take it and put it in like a television show, like it still wouldn't fit properly.
Yeah.
Like so.
Yeah, I just felt like it took me out of it a little bit, but.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, luckily it's only one commercial. It's not like a series of them.
Right.
If I had to do one change, I think I would have had Finn come out as the Demon. I think I would have. I think when Finn came out as himself, like we all thought Nakamura was gonna win anyway, but Finn coming out sans Demon just kind of hammered it home for me even more. And plus, this might be his last NXT match. Like, it might be. We don't know what's going to happen with the draft. We don't know what's going to happen with, like, is he going to be at TakeOver or is he going to be at Battleground? He could be at both. He could be at neither. Like, if this was his last NXT match and he didn't give one more go as the Demon, I think that is I've used this, a missed opportunity.
Well, I see your point. I also see the point of view of him wanting to leave as Balor, just Balor. You know what I mean? I can see both sides of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And plus, then you'd have the Demon lose twice in a row, and that's not good, too. So, all right, yeah. All right, so strike my change. I don't really have a change. My change is that I changed my own mind.
There you go.
That works.
All right, so was there anything else you guys want to talk about this match? I mean, it was just... If you haven't seen this match, go fucking watch this match. It was really, really good.
Some people have commented, which I don't agree with. I don't know what you guys think. Some people commented that they got taken out of the match because of Nakamura's selling of the knee.
I could see that, but at the same time, the way Nakamura's been built up, he's got the fighting spirit stuff.
That's my thing, is that they keep talking about that he's the king of strong style, but they don't always go into detail as to what strong style really is.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of
they focus more on the strikes rather than the recuperative capability of the fighting spirit.
And I can understand Balor working the knee, but also Nakamura's offense is so knee-based that he's going to go for knee strikes.
Mhm.
You know, and I don't think he no sell. You know, because there were he would hit that. I think he hit the first Kinshasa, and as he was going for the cover, he was grabbing the knee.
Yeah, I mean, they even said like Nakamura, he knows his knees are hurt, but it's instinctive for him to go.
Because what else does he? I mean, that's what his offense is based on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that when Balor was trying to do the grapevine, and then just jumped up and down on his knees. Oh, that looked brutal. That looked absolutely brutal.
And I disagree with people saying that Nakamura was no selling the knee because I really love when the show ends, he does the big like kind of pose thing in the center of the ring, and if you notice is when he does it, like he kind of like collapses on the knee, like he's selling his knee after the match, and I thought I don't know, I saw a lot of people like talk about that, and I didn't really agree with it.
Yeah, I thought it was fine. Chris, Matt, you guys have any issues with that?
Can't really say. No, not really.
You were just happy.
Yeah, it was just a fun match.
I just think, I mean, going back to like what we were saying about the guys who get called up to when these two guys get up to the main roster, I worry about Finn Balor just because he's a smaller guy. I don't think Nakamura can be stopped. I don't think he can be denied once he gets up on the main roster. It's over. I mean, that's just my feeling. I mean, he doesn't seem to be any barrier at all. Like he hit NXT and like was immediately like there was like zero transition. It just felt like that to me.
I'm a bit more confident with their possibility of them succeeding on the main roster. I think a lot of it's due to AJ Styles' recent success. Like I think the fact that Styles has been able to succeed with his size and with his kind of similar style. Like I think Balor and Nakamura will be fine.
Yeah. All right. So, Eamon, where can the good people of the internet find you?
Oh, are we ranking as well?
Oh yeah. Completely lost my head. Sorry about that. Eamon, where are you ranking NXT this week?
It's number 2 for me this week. Really great match with Nakamura and Finn Balor, but yeah, that's my ranking.
All right. Matt, how about you?
Number 2 this week. Quite a good show, but ain't no Lucha Underground.
Speaking of Lucha Underground, Chris, where did you rank NXT this week?
Well, considering I made Lucha number 1 and TNA number 2, NXT is 3 up, 3 down.
Oh god, I'm gonna put NXT at number 2. It was actually really close with Impact this week. Impact wasn't a horrible show. Go check out our review of Impact, where oh boy we get into Impact. But yeah, NXT was really fun. I think if they had like 1 or 2 more things on the match, like because there's no reason that NXT just has to go an hour. Especially when you're leading into the Cruiserweight Classic, they kept it going a little bit longer, I think. All right. So, Eamon, where can the good people of the internet find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Eamon2Please, and you can also check out the company I'm involved with, which is Inspire Pro Wrestling, over at InspireProWrestling.com.
All right. And Matt, how about you?
On the Twitter at Mainstream Matt with 1T. Go to IndieWrestling.us. Check out my weekly Around the Indies column, and I'll keep you updated on all the fine young men and women falling off things across this great country.
All right, and Chris, where can the good people on the internet find you?
The good people of the internet can find me at Chris Dejoseph, and they can find me this Wednesday night, Lucha Underground 2-hour Ultima Lucha Dos season finale, Rey versus Puma, Pentagon versus Matanza, Ivelisse versus Taya, Mundo, and the Worldwide Underground against the Phoenix Drago and Aerostar for the Trios titles. Am I probably forgetting something?
Black Lotus.
And Black Lotus.
And El Dragon is
Black Lotus.
Dragon Azteca. So check out Lucha Underground season finale this Wednesday on the El Rey Network.
Excellent. And you can, of course, find me at MadMike4883. Also, hit up our Facebook page. If you're into the Midweek War this week, we are too, because holy shit, it's been a great week. If you haven't checked out our Lucha Underground episode, fucking Vampiro called in. Goddamn motherfucking Vampiro called in. And it was fucking awesome. we went way too long. Sorg is gonna get pissed. I don't think he'll care because Vampiro will tell him to fuck off.
You tell him to eat a box of dicks.
Oh, he absolutely will. All right.
He'll say, "Who's Sorg?"
Two people in the world Vampiro doesn't know, Sorg and Matt Hardy. You're in good company there, Sorg. All right, so for Eamon, for Matt, for our very special guest, Chris Dejoseph.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Absolutely. This has been your Midweek War.